Hey guys, today we're stepping out of our comfort zone and we're doing something we've never done before. Usually we test kites in the most ideal wind conditions, but now we're flipping the script. Today we're hunting for the lightest wind as possible. So why, you may ask? Well, let's find out. Bro, crazy! So we've just got the brand new WhisperModel from Reedin by Brainchild. This kite is the ultimate light wind kite from Reedin and is new in their lineup for this year. As well as the HyperModel, this WhisperModel is also made in the Brainchild factory. So the Reedin WhisperModel by Brainchild comes in 3 different sizes: a 30 meter, a 50 meter and a 70 meter. So it will cover all conditions and rider weights. The guys at Reedin claim that this kite is the ultimate light wind kite and you can kite with almost no wind. They claim that if you have 4 to 6 knots, you can ride with a foil, and if you have above 6 knots, you can even ride with a big twin tip. So if it flies, you can ride. Sounds crazy, right? Let's put it to the test. So the sun's out, we got 5 to 8 knots in the south of Holland. So let's head over and see if this WhisperModel truly lives up to its light wind promises. So we arrived at the Slufter, and as you can see, barely any wind. So we're gonna head downstairs and check this kite out. Let's go. So starting off with the 50 meter, which I'm gonna pump right now. There's really not any wind, as you can see on the flat water behind me. If this thing will fly right now, dan breekt mijn klomp. Ik nog niet overtuigd ben of ik ermee kan varen. Dat zeg ik gewoon. So, the kite is incredibly stable. Even if I walk forward, the kite just stays there. With a normal kite, you would already need to run to get tension on the lines again. Don't have a lot of pressure in the bar, but I'm gonna try it out with the big E, and maybe I can ride. So unfortunately the wind is a little bit less than expected. It's now around 3 to 4 knots and we pumped the 15, which I could ride a little bit. But luckily we brought the 70 meter as well, which is normally for heavier riders. But we're gonna pump it up anyways and see how that one goes. So definitely a little bit more power. I think we can ride now. Yoo! Lekker! So this is actually crazy. Normally I rather have a beer on the beach right now with this kind of wind conditions, but I could easily ride and have fun in, no wind. So I'm gonna try a hot launch, and as you can see, canopy just even fell like, to me, because there was so less wind. So I'm gonna try to hot launch it right now. Bro, crazy! So I got a little tool, well actually a big tool, which is the Big E to make low-end riding a little bit easier. And there are some new bindings from Reedin on there, which I'm not sure if I can show them already, but here's a little sneak peek. So just ended our 1.5 hour 4 knots guide session with the Big E and the WhisperModel. And I'm actually very impressed how this kite performs in such a light wind. First I needed to get used a bit because you cannot like really practice 4 knots of kite surfing. Half an hour in I could ride a little bit with a little bit more speed and do some jumps, board offs, one footers, front rolls, back rolls, and actually have a lot of fun, which is incredible in my opinion. I can just stand here with the kite, there's no tension on the lines at all, but it just chills in front of me. Water is buttery flat, it's like a mirror, so I'm actually very impressed about this Reedin WhisperModel. So back in the shop after a great light wind session with the WhisperModel. We had the 17 meter out. We brought 3 different sizes of the WhisperModel, the 13, the 15 and the 17. And when we arrived at the spot, I think we drove all the way to the south of Holland for nothing because the wind was so light. There weren't even wind bumps on the water, so yeah, it was like a pancake. So I thought we went there for nothing and we needed to pack up and head home. But we still gave it a shot anyway, and we pumped up the 17 and it just flew, which was so amazing. I never experienced something like that before. The kite just chilled up there on 12. So yeah, I even got to try it on the water. Yeah, I just rode away and it could do back rolls. I could do tiny jumps and 1-footers. Yeah, the wind was only like 5 knots, which is incredible and so fun to ride in like 6 knots. Of course, I'm a bit of a lighter rider and I used a bigger twin tip for those light wind conditions, which was the Big E, which is actually a pretty fun board to ride as well, which I never got the chance to ride. So I was quite happy with that board. So yeah, I could ride easier than, for example, an 80 kilo rider, but I'm quite certain that if you have 2 or 3 knots more, that this kite would also be a perfect kite to ride if you're around 80 to 90 kilos, or maybe even heavier, because you have 3 different sizes. Because the kite is so light and you have the 3-strut frame, it's still enjoyable to ride as well, because maybe you can imagine if you rode a bigger kite before, it's not always really fun. Yeah, I wasn't so hyped to go out with a 17, but that changed immediately when I had the kite in my hands, because it felt so nice and it twisted nice in the air as well. That it did not feel like a 17, which is also a very good thing. That it's only not a light wind kite, but also just a great feeling kite overall if the wind picks up. If you ride any bigger kite from 30 meter and up, you will notice that your takeoff is not always that vertical and you have trouble to go high instead of far. Yeah, you cannot like really get the heights that you're used to with smaller kites. And with this kite, because it's so light and also the diameters and everything is a bit smaller on the Brainchild, the kite is on 12 o'clock and it shoots you up in the sky more. So I jumped and I did not jump high, of course, because the wind is not that strong. But yeah, I did not land on the beach. Really has that vertical lift, which almost jumps you back into the wind. Also when tacking, so if I went the other way around, I could like nearly jump backwards, which is quite a funny feeling. We at Kitemana really enjoyed this new WhisperModel from the 13 meter up to the 17 meter with some stronger winds, but also some lighter winds. If you're riding on a foil or on a twin tip, the kite can do it all. If you want to know more about this WhisperModel or any of the Reedin gear, contact us, leave a comment down below. And if you want to see more of the WhisperModel and the information, scan the QR code here. And also don't forget to like and subscribe if you're watching these videos and are not subscribed. And we'll see you on the next one. Ciao!